Okay, so let's put some teeth and cut out this mouth on Kevin. All right, so let's zoom in here and let's make sure we go far enough back. So I'm going to switch to the clear view, and yeah, looks like it's going back there enough. And that should do a good job. So I'll switch that back to yellow, and I'm just going to push that back just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to select, shift select Kevin's cylinder and group. And there we go, we've got a mouth. Well, one thing I forgot to do, so I'm going to go undo. Alright, I'm going to make a copy of this. Edit. Duplicate, actually. Okay. And now I'm going to shift select. Now I'm going to go in group. Then I'm going to take the duplicate that I made. I'm going to turn the color to black. And then I'm going to push it all the way in. There we go. Okay. So that'll help create a little contrast for his mouth. And what we can also do is we can put some teeth in. So if we look at our reference, you see they have really simple teeth. They're not really complicated. They're really almost a cube that have just been kind of rounded off on the edges. So I think we can make something similar. So let's go to our community tab under shape generators. We're going to go to tab number 7. We're going to use our extrusion more, which is the same tool that we used to make our mouth shape. We're going to use that to create our tooth shape. So let's rotate this 90 degrees on the inside dial. Whoops. There we go. And I'm going to use my arrow key, but I'm going to switch it back to 1 millimeter. And I'm just going to bring it over. I'm going to shrink it down. Uniform scale. So I'm going to select the corner, hold the shift key, and hold the shift key, left mouse button, and scale in. Okay, I'm going to use click the F key to zoom in on it, and I'm going to basically try to flatten this out on the bottom. Okay, so that's the wrong side. So let me just rotate this 180 degrees on the inside dial. There we go. And start tweaking these vertices. And the same here. So we're just kind of flattening out the bottom here. Gonna turn snaps on. So we'll just make one tooth shape and then we can duplicate it and use it over and over again. So I'm also selecting and moving these little Bezier handles here, the circular controls. A little bit of a lag. You probably noticed. Not sure why. I think it might have something to do. The internet might be a little slow today. Might have something to do with maybe not having all my plugins for my web browser updated. So almost there. Okay, let's see. It's not bad. You don't want it exactly perfect. Our teeth are actually not perfectly symmetrical either, like our faces. Okay. Just trying to get that, soften that corner. Okay, that should work. So let's put this in place. So right now it's way too thick, so let's bring this down a bit. And let's scale it in a little bit. And I'm going to squash it. Now there was some other tools I could have used, other geometry pieces, but they were rounded on the edge. They didn't have these hard edges, and the rounded shapes that kind of round off into a curve, they don't print all the way down, especially if it's a really small sphere. So again, I'm trying to take into account what'll print and what won't to try to minimize our problems later on. So I'm rotating on the inside dial 90 degrees. There we go. Now let's turn it to white. And we'll put this in place. Their teeth are kind of big for their mouth. Just kind of makes it funny. So this might seem too big, but it actually might be just right. I'm just using the arrow keys to move these into position. So it's a little too big, but it's pretty close. So I'm going to squash this in. There we go. Let's see how that looks. It's kind of funny. Let's move it up a little bit. Okay, could probably be a little wider, so I'm going to switch to 0.5. Oops, undo that. And there, okay. And then let's look at our reference. Yeah, that's pretty close. It's probably should go back to the size it was. There we go. And now we'll duplicate it, edit, duplicate, and then I'll use the arrow key. And pull back and take a look. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna try and place the two front teeth. In the center, and then they're pretty close to. I'm just going to make this one a little longer. That's probably too long. So let's do undo, and let's go to 0.25. Okay, and now let's just duplicate it again, edit, duplicate, and it kind of it anticipated that we were going to move it over that distance, so that can be a really handy tool at times, sometimes not. So I'm just rotating it 22.5, and then I'm going to use the arrow key to place it in. And I'm going to move this up. Higher. There. Okay. It's looking pretty good. So I'm going to continue. Let's put in another tooth, and in the next video we will hollow him out so we can save money on the printing.
Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe.